welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday. We are coming to you live here from the Illinois Media School here in Lombard, Illinois. Again, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, day or night, I hope it is just right. And with me, as always, these stupendous Mr. Oh, he's not next to me, unfortunately. Actually, though, I think he still might be here. Hold on, let me check. I'm going to make him appear in the back room. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Drew Quillem. Drew, are you back there? Yeah, all right.
I'm here. You're making me be your filthy, dirty TD back here. Yeah.
You know what? Unfortunately, TJ couldn't be here, but I got Drew Quillem in the back. He has not done this in a while, so I ask patience, everybody, please.
Bear with me.
Bear with him.
We preach patience around here.
Absolutely.
That involves us, too.
Absolutely.
I haven't played with this machine in a while.
No.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, she's missed you, by the way. She's missed you, as I think she's sick and tired of me personally. But I'm glad to have you here, of course, Drew, because we got.
I have missed her too.
Well, we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, we've got football. We've got a little bit on basketball, and then, of course, college football for you folks. Drew, are you ready to get this started, my friend?
Oh, it's football. Always.
Football.
Always ready for football.
Well, then, let's do this, shall we? Let's go.
We shall.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting this one off with, of course, the Chicago Bears. Oh, how we love this home team, right? Well, unfortunately, they took a monster L after what was a pretty strong win for them against the San Francisco 49ers, 27-10. It was pretty bad, folks. Aaron Jones came alive in this game. The Packers went right back to the run, and not only on top of that, Aaron Rodgers also playing like his old self. Sammy Watkins and the rest of them really playing up to their level. I gotta say, I mean, it was not shocking in any least bit. Yeah, it was bad. I personally myself, I was not shocked. I thought the Bears could at least maybe keep it closer after last week's game, or after week one's game. I thought, all right, maybe there is something there. Perhaps they can keep it closer. They seem to have made adjustments. This game, though, it felt like there weren't that many adjustments made. I don't know. I mean, from the get-go, it felt like it was very kind of bleh. It just felt like a lot of the same. Dare I say, it reminded me of a past head coach from last year who dared not to make the adjustments on offense. But, Drew, you obviously love and support this team with all your heart. Watching this game, I'm sure you probably threw a beer bottle at the TV or just missed it, I'm sure.
I would never damage my beautiful, beautiful big screen TV like that.
I was going to say, yeah. That's why I was like, yeah, you know, not the TV. You just missed it.
That's why we just punch holes in the wall.
Yeah.
It's a rental.
Yes. But what were your thoughts on the game? What did you think about how this went for the Bears against the Packers? What was your thoughts and feelings?
Well, going into it, I thought not going to be a win. No matter what happened last week, I'd throw that game out, basically. Mm-hmm. Yes, they won, but the weather was so bad. At the time they were able to get ahead, the weather got so bad that nobody would have much of a chance there.
Yeah.
So going into week 2, the weather is fine, but you're still in Lambeau Field. You're still going up against Aaron Rodgers, and you still don't have a great team.
Yeah.
So I figured it was going to be a loss. Then first drive, they go down and score. And hold Green Bay to 3 points, and they go and score a touchdown. And I'm like, okay, how about that? That run looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery's running the ball well. And then they got away from the run, seemed to throw a little bit, and it wasn't working. Overall, they still didn't throw much of anything. So I look at this game, and I'm like, how are you going to develop your quarterback and find what you have in this guy when you're throwing 11 times? So that was one thing that stood out to me big time. And, again, like you said, it kind of seems like they didn't make adjustments, but then at the same time they did in the second half finally get back to the run a little too late because that was what was working.
Absolutely.
And they couldn't do much else elsewhere. So, again, wins, losses to me aren't a big deal this year. To me, it's can they develop this quarterback? Can they show us something with what they have in their young talent? And This week they didn't.
Yeah, I totally 100% agree. And look, let's just get right to it. Right, the Justin Fields situation in this game was, to me, I will say it was a complete downgrade, disappointment, whatever you want to call it. What's the word I'm looking for? Injustice. It felt like an injustice to him as a quarterback. Right. This is a young man who we all believe can be a franchise quarterback. I truly thought he was maybe the second best quarterback in this draft class of Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, all those guys, right? That's just me. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that felt that same way as well. Well, the Bears went and got this guy as he fell in the draft, and you think, wow, this is a great get for Chicago. And now we watch the Bears play the Packers here, and it's 9 passes in 3 quarters. It's 11 passes in the entire game. And like you said, Drew, that's not developing your young quarterback. That's not doing anything for him. You need him to throw the ball, I would say, like 25, 35, 40-plus times a game. Okay, and look, I know it's easy for me to say maybe as the guy who's like, well, I'm not a Bears fan or anything. But here's the thing. Whether he makes mistakes or not, you have to figure out if he's the guy at some point. You need him to throw the football. I know the receiving core is terrible. But, like, you didn't throw any passes to Darnell Mooney. He had -4 yards.
On one catch.
On one catch. You threw nothing at – I don't know what's up with Cole Kmet. I don't know if he's in the doghouse with Getsy.
They've been having to use him as an inline blocker
Yeah.
so much because, once again, shocking when you don't spend a high draft capital on offensive linemen or trade for one or sign them in free agency.
Yeah.
It's tough. And that's what they're going through again. They've got a 5th-round pick playing left tackle, and while he may have won the job and has been playing, are they playing that well? Yeah, they were run blocking well.
Absolutely.
But Justin Fields still does not have time to throw the ball behind that line.
No. Yeah, and the thing is, too, is like, listen, the running game, I agree with people. Like, if you're going to try and win that game, run the football. But the other thing I was kind of on, like, the opposite side of was, like, well, we know this team can run the ball. For the last 2 years, we've seen them develop a great run game, right? David Montgomery gets nice blocks for 15 carries. He goes for, like, 120 yards. We know that he can do that. We know that this offense actually is a really good run-blocking team. But it's not about the run blocking. We need to see if there's a quarterback here. This team has been without a quarterback since Jay Cutler. I'm free, and I didn't like Jay Cutler all too much, personality-wise, and just overall clutch ability when the game was on the line. It just never was there. But he is probably the best quarterback the Bears have had in the longest time, right? No one else kind of comes close to him at this point, and that's kind of sad. And this kid could be it. Justin Fields could be it, but you're not giving him a chance to be that guy. You can't go into a game with only 11 passes thrown and think you're going to win the football game. You can't do that. I mean, maybe if you're running Lamar Jackson's offense, but they're not doing that. And honestly, I think at this point, if I'm Getsy, I mean, we're going to talk about them tomorrow more so, but I mean, we've all been watching the Philadelphia Eagles for the last 2 games, have we not?
Woo!
Hey,
wow.
That offense right now.
Hurts looks good.
Hurts looks good. And you know who plays like Hurts? Justin Fields. If I'm Luke Getsy, I'm not saying carbon copy it, but take a little bit of what you're seeing on film from them, put it in your offense maybe. I know it's the season. You shouldn't be implementing new things in season. So maybe don't do it in the season. Work your offense. Let's see if it works. But perhaps prepare yourself for next year, because it looks like it's going to be an ugly one this year, folks. It ain't going to be pretty. So I would hold stat on that. The other part of that was obviously on the opposite side. We know this defense has been good. Last week they looked good. This week, some guys made plays. A majority of guys did not. If you watch the game, boy, there were a lot of missed tackles.
Eddie Jackson still hasn't learned how to wrap people up. He's still trying to shoulder tackle everyone. Get it. You want to lay the big hit, but lay the big hit and wrap them up, please.
Yeah. I talked to Charles Tillman, guys. I mean, he's one of the best wrap-up corners ever to play the game. I mean, these are two teams, by the way, that had two of the best wrap-up corners. Charles Woodson, who played for the Packers, and Peanut Tillman, who played for the Bears.
Hey, where'd he go to college?
I think he went to that big block M right there on your hat.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's traded to the Ohio people, but honestly, I think I think it was the best move for his career. He won the Heisman, so can't really complain. But God, these guys, too many whiffs. Roquan Smith, who's supposed to be one of the best defenders, wanted to get paid. He had like 4 or 5, something like that, tackles he was missing.
And he hasn't been good in coverage.
No.
Where that's one of his best things because of the way he can move sideline to sideline and cover all that ground, and he has been very poor.
He's been getting tripped up. He's supposed to be able to play a tight end, slot receiver. He's supposed to be that kind of guy. Can't move with them for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the fact he's playing the will linebacker now in a 3-4 in a 4-3 defense, maybe, but you figure this guy should be able to translate well to that position, considering the speed and the agility he has as a linebacker. If it wasn't for Nick Morrow, there would have probably been more points scored on this team. Like, he came up clutch a lot of times with game-saving tackles.
Roquan, to me, I kind of look at this like, okay, this is what happens when you hold out of camp, hold out of being with your team, building a rapport with not only this new coaching staff and new way of doing things and new play calling and everything.
Yeah.
Which all takes time as well. You're seeing it all across the National Football League. The Denver Broncos, new coaching staff, new quarterback there.
Yeah.
Like, they're going through growing pains. You see that a lot of different places. This team is handicapped enough as it is.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to learn new offense, new people, new coaches, new players, and working together. And when you're not there to be a part of that, historically, I mean, it's pretty obvious watching football games. You see those kind of guys seem to be pretty much starting slow all the time when they hold out or do those kinds of things.
Absolutely, for sure. But anybody knows this. If you're building a business, if you're building a team, whatever it is, you need good chemistry. Okay, you need good chemistry. You know why? A little bit of a ringing my own bell, if you will, for whatever you want to count that for. But you know why me and Drew, or me and Tom, or me and David, or whoever is up here, you know why we all work all well together? You know why we all communicate so well together? We've been together for a while now. We've built chemistry. That helps a lot in a business, in a team, whatever you're doing, getting to know the people around you, talking with them, it helps out a lot. As Roquan sat out, of course there are guys that he already knows. It's not the guys that he already knows. It's the new guys. It's the Kyler Gordons. It's the Jaquan Briskers. It's the new guys that they're bringing in as undrafted free agents. You got to get to know those guys so you know how they play, so how you can react to how they play, and then everything kind of syncs together. And like you said too, Drew, you got to get to know the coaches a way, right? This HITS program that Eberflus has been preaching, is Roquan in on that? Is he okay with it? I don't remember if anybody's ever asked him the question, like, do you like the HITS thing? Do you like that principle? I haven't heard anybody ask that question. And I don't even know if he's into it. So it leads you to the question on, is this team cohesive enough to even be able to compete?
I think I'm not concerned with the overall chemistry of this team. I think they're on board for what Eberflus is thrown at them. I think I like what he brings to this team, and I'm not gonna say I'm 100% sold on him as a head coach, but I'm in that direction of being sold on him for the things he's done so far. While it didn't look great week 2, making adjustments week 1 at halftime, and you saw that.
Absolutely,
it was visual. Like I said, after week 1, I was like, wow, I have this proud feeling for the Bears team again. I was like, I haven't felt that in a very long time.
Yeah,
actually feeling proud of this team. And then week 2 just slapped me right in the face and was like, nope, you're back to feeling the way you used to.
Right.
So now it's, again, brand new head coach for the first time. other guys in this position, their positions for the first time.
Yeah.
It's about them making their adjustments from week to week, not only from quarter to quarter or half to half. It's from week to week as well. And let's see what kind of adjustments they make going forward against a team that's in similar standing as them in similar situation.
When it comes to this Bears team, I think it's fair for everybody to kind of understand that. Look, the Packers are a good team. Okay, I don't know if they're a great team. I'd put them in the top 5 of the NFC. There's a few other teams right now that feel like they're a little bit better at this point, but I think the Bears aren't going to be able to beat this team on the second time around in Chicago. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. It's not. But against the weaker teams, if the Bears can show at least to stay with some teams, or maybe even beat those weaker teams, that's promise. I think that's a little bit of progress, right? If Justin Fields, let's get into this. This next game they got coming up is against the Houston Texans. And as we know, Houston right now is kind of in a debilitating mode. They don't even have their first win. They're 0-1-1 because they tied with the Colts somehow. The Bears obviously they're coming off this loss. They're still favored by 2.5 on this game. But this is the Texans. We think this should be an easy cakewalk win, right? But they've obviously been somewhat competitive in the last couple of years. And this is Lovie Smith, who knows this franchise pretty well. And I'm sure he wants to come in and put something on the Bears. But it should be an interesting matchup for sure, and it should be a game for the Bears to say, let's test Justin Fields and let him throw. Let's see what he can do with this receiving core. But, Drew, what do you think, man? The Bears are favored by 2.5. The over-under is at 40.5. I mean, who do you think's taking this game?
Do I have to pick?
I mean, it's your call. I mean, stadium collapse, I don't know if is really going to be an option.
That's not what I'm going for here.
I know.
Oh, God. See, this is tough for me. Like I said, they're very in similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
Young quarterback, while one was drafted a lot higher and had much higher pedigree than the other.
Yes.
They have young teams. They have a new head coach. They're both bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give the Bears the win. I think it's gonna be low scoring, and I'm gonna say the 2.5 is probably pretty close, pretty good right there. So I'm gonna go with that, but I'm definitely taking the under. I don't even know that either team reaches 20 points, but hopefully we see some more progression. We see again the coaching staff making their adjustments from week to week, and we see some better play calling and better game plan.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh God. Yeah, you're right, Drew. I don't like this either. This is
now you're
fun.
on the hot seat.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the hot seat now. I'm gonna give the Bears the win. I'd say they could take like a 4-point win on this. Houston. Here's the thing. Houston, like you said, Houston's got Davis Mills, 3rd-round draft pick. The difference is that they have Brandon Cooks, and Dameon Pierce looks like he could be a really solid running back. I'm afraid they're going to maybe run him into the ground, but between him and Rex Burkhead, I think they've got a nice 1-2 punch with an anvil and an anvil. So I think that they'll score their points.
17-16.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
It feels like it could end up in a tie, really.
A whole hot steaming pile of hot garbage.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Derek Stingley's going to be on Darnell Mooney. I think Justin Fields can absolutely take advantage of the one-on-one matchups with like Equanimeous St. Brown. He well overmatches any corner they have in size. And he seems like he's capable of making a big-time catch when you throw him a nice ball. So, and I think you got
bull crap. I call bull crap. Throw it up to damn Darnell Mooney and let him go up and get it. We saw it in the preseason from him. He's very capable of doing it. I don't give a crap who's guarding him. Stingley, oh, good for you, you rookie. Welcome to the NFL. Darnell Mooney needs to go deep, and he needs to throw the damn ball up to him and let him go get it. Prove why you're a 1,000-yard receiver instead of chirping at everybody or chirping at other cornerbacks from the Green Bay Packers because he thinks you're going to dominate them. Okay. Play on the field. Let's see it. Do it.
All right, I like that. Yeah, fair enough. You got to throw the ball. This has to be the game where you test Justin Fields out.
20-plus pass attempts at least.
At least. This defense is not that great. This defense has, as far as I'm concerned, they have one guy, Derek Stingley Jr., and that's it. And then that's it. So I would be relatively cautious on that to throw to him. But look, you can get those one-on-one matchups. I absolutely think you can make those plays. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. That's going to do it for the Bears stuff. So I'm going to say Bears by 4, and I'll say it hits the over. I'll say it hits the over.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I know. I probably will be wrong. I'd probably be like 9-3 or something like that.
Have you watched this team play?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
I thought you were too busy crying over the Bengals.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll do that. Well, I really won't do that tomorrow, but, I'll have my say-so. Joe Burrow, I still love you. The rest of the team, you got to pick it
You'll
up.
have your moment.
I'll have my moment. All right, well, when we do come back here, folks, the NBA, an owner may be out. We'll be talking about that next here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.
Throughout the 1960s and 80s, Judy Finelli established herself as a masterful juggler and performer, making appearances everywhere from Carnegie Hall to Sesame Street. With her loving heart, she has brought warm smiles to children everywhere she has performed. She even started the San Francisco School for the Circus Arts, but shortly after, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and by 2004, she was completely paralyzed. In celebration of her accomplishments and to fight the illness that had crippled Judy, a group of students from the San Francisco Clown College have compiled the perfect holiday present for those who want to laugh and to help those struggling with the illness. The goal has been set at $1 million raised, with 100% of any dollar made to be donated to the Judy Finelli Fund, which is helping find a cure to multiple sclerosis. Visit www.circuscenter.org to make a donation or to purchase a framed naked clown photo or the full Naked Clown 12-month calendar. Remember, 100% of every dollar is donated and goes to fighting MS.
Hey, you could have introduced it if you really wanted to. I mean, that would have been a fun little mess up.
Well, I told you there was going to be some hiccups.
Patience, everybody, patience. Real quick before we go, since we are talking about the NBA, I just want to give all the Bulls fans out there an update. If you don't know, our man Lonzo Ball, point guard for the Bulls, he is going underneath another surgery to do some clean out with his knee. Expected to do a 4 to 6 week evaluation when it comes back. So we're hoping, fingers are crossed. I'm hoping that this means that he's going to be able to be healthy. His training camp is coming, folks. It is right around the corner here, and he needs to get in there as soon as possible.
I hope so.
Meanwhile, I also heard a rumor
he's a
that
huge part of why they were so productive and winning so many games at the start of the season.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, I also heard the rumor that with the Utah Jazz doing some selling, Jordan Clarkson may be available, and sounds like he may be interested in joining what Chicago may have. Last time I heard, it was coming about Kobe White, Tim Bradley going back to Utah
in a second round pick. I'm bored.
I'm on board for that too. So
he can score.
Absolutely, and that's what this Bulls team needs a little bit more of. So
you better believe it.
But we'll be talking about the Bulls when it comes around. And it's coming around soon, folks. God, we're gonna have the season will be packed with sports, I promise you. But let's stay in the NBA, because if you don't know, a story recently broke last week, if you weren't aware, that we had kind of talked about way back in November. If you don't remember, Robert Sarver, who is the owner of the Suns and the Mercury, he has officially been suspended after an investigation over his conduct in the front office for the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury. Came out that apparently he had used racial slurs, the big one that is to be. He used them apparently within the office in a very free-flowing way, even though his lawyer has since defended, saying, no, he was repeating something, but that doesn't make it all right. He has since been suspended for a year and been fined $10 million for the investigation coming to its conclusion that he did, in fact, say these words within the office. On top of that as well, folks, It has also been reported that within the investigation, he had conduct unbecoming of himself that was explicitly towards female employees within the front office, and I guess it's also been rumored potentially within the Phoenix Mercury's organization as well. Players are unknown if players were actually affected by this or not, but apparently this even came with what was being called sex-related comments. And just obviously you hear this and you think about the fact that what we've gone through over this last year with Sean Watson, then the Matt Araiza situation, all of that. Now Robert Sarver is now being punished by the NBA. It obviously is very shocking. And now we hear the news that came out today, which is that Robert Sarver has officially made an announcement that he is beginning the process of selling the team of the Suns and the Mercury. He is selling both teams now officially at this point in time. This also coming after it was called by Jam Najafi, I hope I'm saying his name right. He is the vice chairman of the Phoenix Suns, called for Sarver's removal as the owner. And it's official now. Robert Sarver is saying that he will sell the team. He is beginning that process. So, Drew, obviously there's a lot to hear. There's a lot to this. But what are your thoughts about the Robert Sarver suspension and now him announcing he is selling the team? What is your thoughts and feelings on that, my friend?
Again, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that these rich pricks think they can do whatever they want because they have money and power.
Yeah.
And we've seen some get tossed. We've seen some get booted for a year and fined money when there shouldn't be any place for any of it in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere. Nowhere in the world should there be a place for any of that crap.
Absolutely.
So the fact that you think 10 million is a lot of money, but you think it affects an owner of an NBA team that much to where it's really hurting them? I don't think so. So these kind of people, your Snyders, Sarver, what was the Clippers owner?
Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling. All of them, they need to go.
Yeah.
They all need to go because people shouldn't have to go to work and be uncomfortable because of some bigot, a racist, or a sexual predator who has money and isn't in charge of them. And it needs to end. It needs to stop, and they need to get these guys out of professional sports.
I agree. When I heard about the Robert Sarver thing, and now I hear the investigation and everything and the finding, and now he's selling the team, the first thing that immediately popped in my head was, well, why didn't Adam Silver just give him the Donald Sterling method? Or treatment, I should say. The treatment. Because, look, he kicked out Donald Sterling for saying it. Now, I know that was on record and recorded, right? That was on record and recorded. This is kind of by employees being interviewed and their memory and recollection and all that stuff. So I understand there's a little bit of a difference on that. There was clear-cut evidence on Donald Sterling. You know, it's a lot of he said, she said. There's a lot of he saids and she saids that are saying this kind of stuff, that he said this, he said that, he did this, he did that. I think this was an easy moment for Sarver to get kicked out. I think Silver could have taken a very easy way to say, hey, he's banned, he's out, he's gone. They suspend him for a year. They give him a $10 million fine. You know, I mean, it is what it is at this point in time right now, but at the time, he's selling the team, which I think is good. Like, they forced him into a position where he had to sell the team. Now, there's no way he could have stuck around. Nobody was going to stick around as the ownership. By the way, he's a partnered ownership with an ownership group, but he's the principal owner of the team, okay? So, I mean, somebody else is now going to step in and take over those shares of the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury. So, at the same time, on one side, it's good he's getting out. On the other side, he's still going to make a lot of money. because obviously Phoenix has gone up in value now. We know that they're a very, very valuable team. And I feel like the NBA could have done more, but now I guess with the pressure that's come on him and the fire that he's now under, I guess in some way you are removing him. It just doesn't feel like a very satisfactory way. You know, he's still getting his money. He's still walking away from this. And if I can, I want to bring this up just real quick. This was Adrian Wojciechowski. For those who don't know, obviously he's Woj. He always just dropping this stuff at, you know. He recently kind of put something out there for everybody to kind of take into account. He said there were always concerns that Sarver's stubbornness and desire to paint himself as the victim would make him willing to continue as a pariah in the NBA community. But his decision to sell the Suns and Mercury bails out the league and his ownership peers. So basically, the league and the ownership says it no longer has to force him out, right? Adam Silver doesn't have to do the work. No, he's going on his own. I don't like that. I don't think there's punishment in that. It just feels a little bit wrong. But he's going. But now I kind of wonder too at the same time, because Chris Paul's been through this before, right? He went through this with the Donald Sterling situation back with the Clippers. Now I kind of wonder, it's like, well, what's he going through now with this team? I'm kind of intrigued to know what he's thinking about right now. I really am. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to say the very least for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I think we may have to be skipping out of here a little bit early. So we do apologize that this was kind of a short show. Unfortunately, the man is kind of giving me his presence at the time. But we're gonna get out of here. We'll save all the college football stuff for tomorrow. We apologize again, ladies and gentlemen. Drew, real quickly, just shout yourself out so we can get out of here, man.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at d.gwill25 and Facebook at Drew Gwillem.
Absolutely.
And tomorrow, maybe at the desk.
And at the desk tomorrow, he will be hosting. We're going to have a lot of football stuff to do. Folks, we're going to talk a lot more football tomorrow. You guys can find me at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. Follow me there. You can find us at the Facebook page, facebook.com/Team XBomb Sports. Find us at the YouTube page, XBomb Sports. Find us on our social media all over the place, on Instagram and Twitter at XBomb Sports. You can always email us at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. You know, all the podcast stuff. We'll put that out there tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.